We are here in Jeffersonville in the town of Cambridge for the 4th of July parade.
She was like, wow, you know everyone. That's so cool. And I was like, is it cool? Like, I don't know. It's like, you know what, Ollie?
Justin Marsh is a lifelong Cambridge resident. Since 2015, they have been performing as drag queen Emoji Nightmare.
My name's Emoji Nightmare, and I'm so excited to be back in Bethel. This is the 3rd year in a row!
Emoji is like sort of a persona that Justin puts on. It's still me inside, and just my exterior is a little different, obviously a lot different. Super important for me because I grew up in Cambridge, Vermont, in Lamoille County on a dairy farm, and still live there now. And being my authentic self in the small town that I grew up in, that means so much to me. It's the whole theme of our whole thing is like showing up and being sparkly fabulousness in the sticks of Vermont. Yeah. Yes, I would say drag is activism at its core. Going to schools and libraries and reading children's books, that's a form of activism. Showing up in rural spaces, like we're here on Route 12 in Bethel, and I'm like, trucks are going by, and here I am in front of a church being interviewed, and I'm like, okay, like, we're visible, we're here. This is activism. Like, there's a whole show about it on HBO, right? Like, I do that every day.
We are here in Essex at Phoenix Books for Drag Story Hour.
Whatever your colors, start dancing, have fun!
Drag Story Hour is just a sparkling, joyous event where we go from library to library, school to school.
The books chosen are all really vibrant books about identity, belonging, friendship, respect, acceptance, and just silliness.
The shoes on the drag queen go stomp, 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 stomp. Stomp, 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 the jiggly, wiggly, fat bodies are cool! It, reinvigorates the child in me. And
because she knows what it means to be a young queer kid in a rural community and how isolating that can be.
We see what showing up in those parts of Vermont really mean to the families there. Back in January, we were at the Northern Stage in White River Junction, and our story hour was halted by a bomb threat. They've asked us to come down for their Pride celebration for a story hour called Finish the Book. Yeah, there were protesters. There were also counter-protesters who were amazing. It's more than just reading books to kids. It really is, and that's what the protesters think, and it's true. Like, it's more than that. It's not about converting. It's about showing up in spaces and sending a message of love and acceptance.
Thank you, friends!
We are in Pleasant Valley in Cambridge, Vermont, on the farm that I grew up on and still live on. I think just being raised here still is such an important value of mine. I think that relates to my passion for conserving. So from here you can sort of see the barn, you can see the sugar house, you can see Mansfield in all of her glory. Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with this view. I got it tattooed on me. This was on one of the StuckinVermonts, right? I think the first one we did.
Justin has been brave their whole life, just a very, very authentic person. They have just been a consistent, vibrant force in our community, literally since first grade.
It was in me all along, obviously. I loved wearing my mom's t-shirts to bed because it was like a gown. And I loved it because it was sparkly and pink and blue and pretty, and I could flitz around in it. So it was always there. One of the earliest times that I was really out in public in drag, I was probably 21, 22. I remember my mom, she was like, don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to get killed. Don't do that in Burlington. I knew that if someone had something to say about me, that I had at least 5 people that I could point to that would have my back and have my support. And I think that really probably comes down to how I have survived and thrived in this area, is that I've built connections with people.
Justin has lived in this community their entire life. I think over their life, they've built pretty deep connections here.
We are in Bethel, Vermont, here in Windsor County for the 3rd annual Bethel Pride Fest drag show.
Join, learn, grow together, harmonize together, unite. That's what it's about. It's about bringing this community together.
We're taking an old church and making it a drag venue for a night. And that's maybe a little punk, right?
It's what drag is. Like, it's supposed to push boundaries. It's supposed to be polarizing, and it's very political nowadays.
And drag is about joy, love, family, and community.
Rainbow. But I'm very grateful to have pride.
So we always say it takes a little rain to create the rainbows.
We have rural spaces that are also queer spaces, and we have a nightlife.
There's so much to say about Emoji. She's a fierce leader. She's a talented host. She does so much outreach for the LGBTQ community, constantly bringing shows to places that may not ever seen a drag show.
Emoji. I'm only here tonight because Emoji gave me a space even though they were fully casted.
Oh, 1000%. If Emoji was not here, I don't think this drag community would exist. Emoji has definitely opened the doors for a lot of people, like including myself.
I have kings and queens from 5 different counties of Vermont here today. It's exciting.
The Vermont drag scene is actually very interesting. I actually started a show about a decade ago in Rutland, and at that time there was no any drag shows or anything.
There's a new rise of queens now. Who is that? Now it's such a beautiful rainbow because of the way Vermont's changing, because of events like this, because of people like Emoji.
I think a lot of people, like myself, our families don't support us a lot with this kind of stuff. So it's good to know that we have this backup to be like, oh yeah, if you need something, text them. They'll lend a house, you need a wig, they'll buy it for you, you need costumes, they'll be like, yeah, sure, we'll get it for you. So I love this community.
It's kind of flourished into like this whole family of performers having a great time doing drag and bringing all these entertainments to little towns across Vermont.
Like, you can just find anything and everything here.
It's like really been kind of like my queer like homecoming.
I am Emoji. E-M-O-J-I Emoji. I am Emoji. E-M-O-J-I Emoji. I am Emoji. 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 Used to run the state back when champagne still pop. No more pain in the night. Now this bitch on top. Rising sun Evangelista, Tyler Perry's House of Queen. Now the house of mine.
Today I'm Justin, yeah. Yep, it was a decision, right? I got reached out to by a community member who's like, will we be seeing Emoji tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, it's definitely a tradition. I marched with like my daycare. Then as I got more involved in the community, I would find other ways to participate, either through the Historical Society or when I ran for the legislature, through the Arts Council, and today with the Conservation Commission.
And Justin had run as an independent for state representative when they were 23, and they did really well.
The silos behind me.
The two of us were the Silo Sisters with 3 other individuals. Justin had the vision of public art.
I know Emoji as Justin. We actually work together in the State House. Well, what's fun is Justin has a lot of flair even when they're not in drag. They have some of the best nails in the State House. I love that Emoji Nightmare is also like an environmentalist activist on the side. The Duchess!
You know, I used to call him the mayor, but now I call them the Duchess.
Their commitment to continuing to be here and continuing to stay here, I think I will say I personally find that very inspirational.
Like, I think I'm supposed to be here doing this, and if I can use drag as a platform, then even better.
Thank you, Justin, and thank you, Emoji. And we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon.
And of course, there's the LeMays who won't ever quit. No.
You're never gonna get that Daisy.
I'm never gonna get the damn Daisy Award. Vote for Emoji Nightmare. It's too late now, but remember me next year.